Hello and welcome to this episode of the Ranting Atheist podcast. Today we'll be listening to a recording of a clubhouse room we had a while ago, and then this was one of the rooms we have after Bible study when we used to do it on Clubhouse. And the conversation shifted into abortion and FGM, and different perspectives came on board back and forth. So I hope you enjoy and learn something from it. If you are yet to subscribe, please consider subscribing on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and other places podcasts are available. Then check out the show notes for links you may find useful, including our Discord server. I would love to have you there. So now let's go and listen to the conversation we had about abortion and FGM.
Active slave trade within Nigeria, especially the sex slave trade. Are these the same people debating about abortion? Like, sweetheart, think about your road. Don't be following white people to do that rubbish.
Yeah, I hear you, Miss Sam. So Mohair, yeah. So for me, right, I struggle with this concept of the patriarchy and men wanting to control women, and that being the sole reason. And the reason why, right?
Those don't have an abortion.
Exactly. If you do not want it, don't do it.
Yeah, don't have an abortion.
No, sorry, no. Let me just. Yeah. So my issue, right, is, for instance, now if women were saying, "Oh, I want to circumcise myself, cut off my clitoris," and men were saying, "No, you have no rights," then I feel like yes, argument will hold true that men are trying to control what women do with their bodies. But that's not the case here, right? I feel like the issue is that these men, I know it's not just men, it's also women as well. But these people are saying, "I see this as a defenseless life. Yes, it's growing in your body, but this is a life, and I feel like you taking that life is murder, and I want to do what I can to protect it." Right. So this argument that is men trying to control women, I don't know. For me, I struggle with it. I do.
I think you're pretty much giving all the points. Okay.
Thank you so much, David. Okay, so here's the thing. So first, I need to know, what concept of the patriarchy do you have a problem with? Because you live in a patriarchal society. It's men who are making the legislature, right? And when I say men, I'm not saying like every single man, because then we're going to do the not all men. I'm talking about men as a collective, like because we live in societies that are run by men. So they are making these laws. That is the patriarchy. And yes, do women keep the patriarchy? Definitely. But this is a tool that is used to subjugate women. And that's why I say it is men. First of all, no woman is going to, out of nowhere, if they haven't been conditioned to believe that female genital mutilation, or what people term as circumcision, is, if they aren't conditioned to believe that it's something that's beneficial to them, no woman is going to come and say, "I want to." Usually it's the flip. It is men speaking, or like, say, building cultures and traditions of things that are inherently harmful to women and gaslighting women. And these are women who've been gaslit for generations, especially with the abortion conversation. So you find that they have passed these conditioning on to their children and their children's children. So you have a lot of women in societies that see it wrong. But then it's men that pass in this legislature. Do you think if women were making these laws, this would even be a conversation that will be happening? No. Fine, now pick 100 people, majority of men would be anti. And them saying they're pro-life, they're not pro-life, they're only anti-abortion, because one, they don't care about the life of the child. They don't care about the life of the woman. The point of this whole campaign is to make sure that women can't just make the choice to have the abortion, and that's what I'm saying. And that is the patriarchy, robbing women of that choice. Because me being pro-choice, I'm pro-choice just means that you have the choice, you can make the choice to either have an abortion or not have an abortion. It's not saying that if you're pregnant and just go have an abortion. No, it's the fact that you're afforded that choice. So taking away that choice is what I'm talking about. It is the patriarchy that is robbing women of that choice. It's a patriarchal problem. So I don't know. I don't know if my explanation makes sense because I'm just struggling on how to explain this to you. But then there's so many tools. There's so many things that women are being robbed of or have been robbed of, and it's not just women coming up and saying, "Well, we want to disenfranchise ourselves like this." No, it's systems that are run by men that are putting these things in place to disenfranchise women. That's why I said that it is the tool of the patriarchy.
Even his example, right, that he gave that women want to call up Kutu, right? Like,
yeah,
you understand that, like, that, hey God, I don't even understand that one.
I don't even know how to. That's what confused me. I swear.
Okay, you know what? Sorry, let's use other things because I feel like that's a controversial example. Sorry, Miss San.
Wait, hold on.
Miss San. Miss San, hold on.
Wait, this is like a co-club. I'm co-host of the club. I beg. We have spoken to you about the abortion thing. If you don't want an abortion, you don't have it. Then we cannot rest. Yeah.
Yes, but sorry, let me just clarify what I meant, right?
Wait, hold on. Let me clarify. I've told you in the chat.
I think you let him just clarify because
I'll just be quick, right? If the orphanage has never seen you before, what are you doing trying to protect the lives of quote unquote unborn children? Like, come on now.
Yes, okay, yes, no problem. So my point was that, right? My point was this argument of men are doing it because they are trying to control women's bodies and trying to make sure that women don't have a say in what happens. I was saying I struggle with that, right? Because it's not like.
Did he drop off or is it me?
I think his network is messing up.
Wait, is it just me?
No, he just stopped.
It's him.
Okay. And I feel like people, sorry, let me just say something. I feel like people struggle when I say men this because they're thinking I'm saying like individual men. I'm talking about men as a system.
I think you kind of clarified it when you said patriarchy, right?
To what
Not like
exactly.
To what end is what benefit is like stopping women from having kids or something, from abortion?
Wait, I can't hear the person very well. Is it just me?
No. Carry on.
Is he back?
Sorry, hello, sorry. Did I leave before?
Yeah, you were gone.
Yeah, if you were speaking for the last like 30, 40 seconds.
Are you serious? Okay, so my point was, right, that, oh God, how do I even say this again? I think it was a bad example. What I was just trying to say is that I struggle with saying, the reason why, men or people against this abortion thing is men are trying to control women's bodies and making sure that they don't have control over what they do. And my point was that it's not like, men are coming in and saying, women shouldn't have control over anything they do with their bodies, right? It's just that this is a sensitive thing because these people are saying, there's another life involved and we're trying to protect this life. I know you might have issues with their intentions or whatever, or do they really care about the life? But my point is, it's not like they're going into everything that women do with their own bodies and saying, no, women, you can't do this with your body or you can't do that. No, they're just saying, this particular thing is what they're dealing with. And that was my point. Yeah, sorry.
So, you remember I asked you, like, how long are you going to be a parent or something like that, right? And you said, like, until you die, basically. Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Majority of women will contemplate pregnancy, right? Or having a child and whatnot. Majority of women will give birth to those children. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if they don't have access to, let's say if 90% goes into the hospital, they don't have access to abortion, all of them will give birth, right? All right.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be the primary caretaker of that child. Now, when people talk about wage gaps and whatnot between women and men, right, in developed countries, it's a bit more complicated than that because it goes beyond just like, they're paying women this amount, paying men that amount to... Women have to forfeit time they will spend working to take care of their children. Women will go to work, come back, take care of their kids, and the next day do it again. They are forfeiting their social and working life to take care of that child. They are more resigned to stay at home. Because working and taking care of children is hard, many women will be willing to give up one, which is that it's mostly work life, right? To take care of their children, meaning they will resign in their household. When they resign in their household, they become a housewife. Who is the one bringing money into the house once she becomes a housewife? The spouse or the husband, whoever it is, right? What does that do? It causes a power imbalance. Who does this benefit? The man, because he is not the primary caregiver of the child. The wife is. He is basically the benefactor, right? Like the money giver and whatnot. What last name does the child carry? The man. The man's last name. Whose legacy are the children carrying? The man's. Okay, can you kind of see where this is leading to? Yeah. And even let's say she's not even at a housewife level or whatever it is, yeah. Maybe she has to now work closer to the house and like what we see in Nigeria. Because nobody's a housewife in Nigeria. Everybody's working, just doing fake housewife.
And they have house help.
Yes, the house help we have in Nigeria is slavery. Anyways, as we are now there, like we are now working in that shop and whatnot, the money you would have been making elsewhere, right, would not compare to the money I'm making at your house, because the house will be smaller. Meaning you are somewhat dependent on the money your husband is making. Okay, you can't see what this is going to like. You can't see where.
So in terms of the patriarchy, right, and men controlling stuff and all of that, right? That's the point.
I want to add something to what Misa said. Okay. So also there is this narrative that is being trying to push, like they've been trying to push for generations, that the role, the gender role nonsense, that's the only reason, the primary purpose of a woman is to procreate and nurture. So literally, we live in a society that reduces women to our wombs and caregivers. So tell me why this particular society will give women a way out when they are constantly, even in 2023, as women have decided that my entire humanity is not going to be defined by my womb or my ability to procreate. Tell me why they would make it easier for women to not choose that path.
This is heavy stuff.
This is my reality. I live in a country that is very, very, very anti-abortion. The only reason why I haven't had a child, I haven't gotten pregnant and had a child, is because I'm very, very particular about not being pregnant. We live in a society where contraceptives have, every single type of contraceptive is dangerous to a woman's health. Literally dangerous. Nothing's being done about it. They made men's contraceptive and gave them headaches. What the milder symptoms that we have from the contraceptives that we can tolerate, that's what the male contraceptive have, and they took it off the market because men couldn't handle it. That's what we have to go through. IUD, injectables, pills. And for a woman like me, I can't take contraceptives. Do you get where I'm coming from? So if I am heterosexual, I'm not gay. So if I were to have sex and I were to be pregnant now,
oh, sorry, but just give me a sec here. Israel, please make me mod real quick.
Do you get what I'm saying? This is control. This is people who have sat down and made decisions that makes it difficult for me as a woman, as an adult woman, to have choices that will benefit me. That's the control I'm talking about.
Yeah, please. Wow, I wanted to say.
Wait, Ade, just real quick. I want to explain what's above the thing you just speak. So I pinned up like a kind of description of FGM, above for those who don't know what FGM is, because Israel, what you were describing was not FGM. That's something else. I think it's called like
vaginoplasty. No, but no.
yeah.
Actually, Miss, and there is a form of FGM that involves that it's type 3, and it's really gruesome.
Yes, type 3 is.
Yeah, but it's not a choice that the women make.
Yeah.
No, it's not. God forbid. No, but some women choose it. But yeah, most women don't.
No women choose it because it's done when you were.
Because they thank you, when they're children.
No, sorry. I know that most women don't. But trust me, there's some women who actually go back to say, no, I must do this.
No
It might be conditioning and all of that.
If you're not done research on this thing, don't speak on it.
Ladies, I have that's something that is type 3. I'm not saying that all women choose. I'm saying that there are some women that will say, because of my culture, I don't want my husband to accept me.
Hold on. Before you go and do this somewhere else, let me tell you.
I never said it's a choice that they make. I'm saying that it's something that is forced.
Hold on. Hold on. Type 3 is a type where they sew the vagina shut and leave a small hole that you can pee and bleed from. They do this so that when you're getting married, your husband has to tear.
Yes. Or a midwife does it for him, yeah.
No, it's not a midwife. It's not a midwife.
I'm saying, if you really, they said that some men can't even do it, so they have to get secretly get a midwife.
But he would have to try to tear your vagina open first.
Yes, it's really gruesome. It's horrible.
So no woman chooses that. They do it for them and their children.
Even that procedure that I talk about, right, that you are saying, Fruity, it's not FGM. So what it is like fake virginity, right? It's to basically reconstruct your hymen all over again to be like as if you were a virgin. That's
a different thing. I get you. There's also a form of FGM where they actually, so just like what Mujer said, there's a type 3 FGM where they actually do it all the way up. And it's a different type of FGM, yeah.
So
I'm sorry,
yeah.
Sorry?
Yeah.
I did my nigga long time.
Yeah. Hi everyone. So yeah, I just wanted to speak on I think a bit of what Fruity was saying, right? Which I think it's about when you say abortion is like men trying to control women's bodies. I actually think there's some truth to that in terms of there's a systematic case to be made for that, yeah. But I think sometimes when some men push back, right, I think it might come from the place where they think they personally, right, they might have some anti-abortion stance, and for them it might, for a particular individual, right, as a man, it might not be coming from any idea of controlling, even though maybe it's the control idea that shaped their mind, but they are not consciously, it's just like a nuanced position I'm giving, right? So they are not consciously thinking they want to control women's body, but they live in a culture, a society that wants to control women's body. So they've just like almost every idea of morality most of us have, right? It's mostly shaped by our society, like what people have told us is right or wrong. That's why I think for a country like Nigeria, for example, whether it's men or women, the average person you will ask on the street if abortion is wrong, they will say yes. Whether even most women in Nigeria will say it's wrong. So it's not. Yeah, I'm agreeing with the idea that it's controlling women's body, and I think you also said this, right? So I'm not necessarily disagreeing with you. I think you also said it's a systematic control. But I think so men think because you say men want to control women's body, it must feel like you are telling them that they personally have this intent to control women's body. And I think that's what I think if we can just flesh this out, there might not even necessarily be a disagreement. But I think it just always gets confused. And I think the men usually, sometimes at least, are arguing that, me, I don't have the intention to control women's body. But yeah.
Look, so we can move on to the other questions Fruity wanted to ask. And so who wants to quickly summarize everything for him based on what we heard so far? Should I do it?
Just do
class. Okay, look, so Fruity, you've heard different perspectives. Yeah? Your question was what we think about abortion and all. And I think we've already laid down the foundation earlier. I don't want to redo that again. As I said, the thought varies depending on who you ask. Most of us here apparently tend to be pro-life, including Francis, who is not here right now. But we've made it clear that there are different perspectives to defining what murder is. and what the fetus and the role and how patriarchy plays a role in the whole debate in the whole abortion debate and the politics behind it, right? And of course, as we said, it's up to you. And this is my final one. This one I even write in all caps. It is up to you. If it's your belief, you can hold it to yourself, but you don't try to impose it on other people. If you think you're like pro-life, stay pro-life. If for those who are pro-choice, let them be. It is a whole complex situation. And when you ask about the whole murder thing, we have also, if you're trying to protect your life, we will explain how that is. We've gone around that whole triangle. I think you can read up more on it. There are many resources you can look up. And please, this type 3 and a quick diverge from the whole thing. You see this type 3 FGM you talked about. I looked it up while you were speaking, and it does not look anywhere pleasant. I don't think anybody will want to sit down and go through the whole thing because
Oh my!
hell no.
I feel like I'm being gaslighted, and it's a bit unfair because I'm not saying that generally people choose it. I'm saying there are some. For instance, do you know that this type 3, right? There's some women that after childbirth, they are the ones who tell the doctor. And again, it's conditioning the doctor.
That's not FGM. They call that the husband
You are
stitch.
describing different
No,
things.
not the husband stitch. No, you guys, not the husband stitch. Let me talk
Wait,
now.
I
Making
want
my
to.
point. Wait now. There's some women that have had type 3 FGM, and that when they go to, that when you actually go to chemotherapy after you had type 3, you have to open up the vagina even more to allow baby out, right? There's some women that even after the childbirth, they now tell the doctor, please sew me back up like I had the FGM. Why? Because culturally, the woman has to still look like she's pure. It's terrible. So I'm not saying it's right or that all women are, but I'm just telling you guys that there's actually some women who, for various reasons, ask for it. It's disgusting, but if you read up, you actually find out.
That is a type of
indoctrination
of sorts.
Hold on,
yes, it is, but it happens.
I need to clarify this. So infibulation is the sewing of the labia. That's the type 3 FGM. What the women do when they get pregnant is they tell the doctor to sew the entrance to the vagina, not the labia shut.
Sorry, wait. I think
so the doctors don't sew the labia.
The same thing.
No, it's not the same thing. The doctors don't sew the labia. They sew the opening of the vagina when you're doing the husband stitch. They sew it to make it smaller. Just the whole area that they have to open. What type 3 FGM is infibulation? Yeah. They sew the labia.
That's not the husband stitch, right? They're talking about when the doctor does that after childbirth, right? That's like them saying, "Oh, sew me back because my mom won't accept me if I'm open." That's the one you're saying, right? Is that the one you're saying?
Okay, you know what? Yeah, you guys remember when we were having this conversation about is abortion murder or not, or killing, right? I mean, that's it. Okay, murder is too broad. It's abortion killing, and that is quite different types of killing, right? So can the class give us different types of killing? Yeah.
Wait, before we go, I wanted to tell Lumi something. Listen, 1 second. So okay. Lumi, there's also a type 4 FGM where so that there are different ways they do it, but the most gruesome one is where they cauterize the vagina. So they, how they put metal in fire and then they put it there too. Yes.
No, this is
that's
crazy.
So we can look it up.
Okay, so
really, women have seen Shege, really.
Yeah, they have seen shit.
Yeah, so there are different types of genitalia mutilation, right? But not all of them is FGM. So they're all different things. They're all still bad, but it's not that particular thing is not FGM.
Yeah,
they have a different name.
I also have a suspicion that different cultures we have different types.
I want to ask, what is FGM first of all? Because you guys are describing something. Wait, hold on. Here's my question. You guys are describing a scenario where they are mutilating someone's genitals, and you're saying that's not FGM. So that's what is confusing here.
So we're not saying like what we would describe as FGM, is not what that is. But is it still are they all still the same thing? Yes, like no one's arguing that one. They're all still the same thing. Still mutilation. Yes, but they have different names. What we consider FGM has I think they're like 3 or 4 types, right? And then all these other stuff have different names for it that we don't call FGM.
So it's different. That's what I'm saying.
And we know, like we always say, that we all know that all types of killing.
Okay, and that's what it's called.
So all types of murder is still killing, right? But we don't call all types of killing
is it
like murder.
Yes.
I put a link in the bio. It's from the WHO, so they show like what is termed as FGM, and they show the 4 types.
Yeah, I'm
So you can
checking it
read
out now.
about
So
it.
thanks.
I don't. Am I the only one who's still confused here? Because the thing with the
Look,
killing and the
easy,
murder stuff,
easy. If
I
you
will look it up.
if
But
I pierce my
well,
clit, right, that is mutilating my genitalia. Me having a clitoral piercing, right? But then is that the systemic FGM? No, it's not,
No.
because that's a choice that I made, as opposed to the other harmful things that they do to young girls and children. So when we're talking about FGM, we're not talking about me going to get a clitoral piercing or me getting a designer vagina or me telling my doctor to stitch me up a bit tighter. No, we're talking about people, because of culture and tradition, mutilating the vagina of young girls, want to keep, with the excuse that they're keeping them from being promiscuous because of purity culture. Do you understand?
I get that. But here's the thing. So when I read this thing, hair scalps and hymen, well, maybe I'm remembering the book wrong, but she classified it, or what you just described, as circumcision. But it still falls under FGM, and that's why, to me, it was confusing when you're saying it's FGM, but it's not FGM.
No, so which part of what I said, the ones they do for purity culture, they call it female circumcision because they are not going to call it female genital
The
mutilation.
parts where, like, no, yeah, no, you don't get what I'm saying. I get the fact that it's called female circumcision, but what I'm saying is that is also referred to as female genital mutilation.
Yes,
And that's why it was confusing me.
FGM.
Hang on now. That's what I'm saying. That's why it was confusing me when you guys were saying, "Oh, this is FGM," but at the same time, it's not FGM. Because in my head, I thought we're talking about the broader aspect of it, not the systematic.
No,
what you just described, basically.
What we normally describe as what we call FGM, even though the term itself is very broad and it encompasses a lot of stuff, right? Like that FGM in particular has like certain types. Then there are other things as well that's now would fall under that umbrella, but we won't call it FGM, just call it something else. And we can now debate on whether or not those things are harmful, right? Like the husband stitches, for example, or what reconstructing your hymen and whatnot so that you're still pure, things like that. So we can do all these things.
Okay, so just to get this straight, when we're saying FGM in this topic, is just the, how do I put it now? The systematic aspect of it, like the one that is forced upon girls and children.
Yes, so I'm going to put a TikTok link above, which goes into detail about like the 4 types for those who don't want to read. There we go.
Yes, thank you, Miss Sam. So there was something I was going to ask you, about the abortion thing as well, because I was also thinking, would you say that the way it is done matters? So the reason I asked is because there was a lady who told me just today or yesterday about how she missed her period and she asked a friend for help, and so the friend advised her that she should take a mixture of small stout and ampiclox. And then the next day she bled out. And so I was just wondering, would you consider that as abortion?
Of course, it's an abortion.
Yes.
Oh, it's an abortion, right?
Yes.
Okay. So it's not just when the doctor does it, or so that kind of thing.
No, it's literally evacuating the fetus or embryo from your system. So
you're eating the fetus away. So most of abortion was even done indoors, right? So all these concoctions, what was considered abortion until it became more medicalized. But oh my god, my cousin, right? So she got pregnant for her boyfriend, and it wasn't until later on within her pregnancy this person was misbehaving and whatnot, right? There was no future with this child. She was very young. She was like 19 or something like that. So she got an abortion, I think, like 5 months in. And I think nearly killed her from all these concoctions and whatnot. Because, of course, the baby is kind of like much bigger now, everything like that. It's crazy. Like, abortion is also like very risky to a lot of women in different countries, like in Africa, for example. Women do die from abortions.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
wait, hold
this
on.
is what
For
abortion.
those who don't want to read, I don't mean like it's in a bashful way. Like some people don't just want to look at the article, so it's like having someone describe it to you is better.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, go ahead. Like, I just want to quickly kill it so you can ask the rest of his questions.
No, I was also going to say, and these scenarios, these are this is the reason why abortion needs to be legalized, so that as and when it's going to be done, it's done in a safe environment. Because the reason why there's a high mortality rate when it comes to like women who attempt abortions is because it's illegal. So then they have to do it in unsanitary places. Bruh, look, the places that I have been to pick up young girls who have had abortions, it would shock you. The unsanitary and conditions, the tools that they have used, and you will find like this thing. It kills me every time I say it. So when I was in uni, my childhood friend had an abortion, and then there was nobody to pick her up. So she called me, and I went there, and you will find these young girls. They were laying on mats on the floor, and there's this it's like an old abandoned school, and how do they? You don't even know how they sterilize the tools, and then they just go in like they're getting injections, like they go in and come out and go in and come out. It was disgusting. But like these young girls they have to get rid of their babies somehow. It's not until Marie Stopes actually came here that like it's something that people can just go there
Mary
and
Stopes
and
saving lives.
get proper treatment. But then back then it was horrible. So you see, if abortion was something that was legal, these people would actually have to go through medical checkups, have proper consultations with professionals, and then get evacuated easily, and not have people inserting things that would damage them or put their life at risk. But then no. So young girls are raped on a daily basis, daily, hourly basis. How many of the rapists will think to say, maybe she's ovulating, let me wear a condom? It doesn't happen. There are a plethora of scenarios with which a woman would need an abortion. Let's just take away the part that she's not ready for. Let's just take away those who aren't ready for children and it was unplanned. Let's talk about people who actually need these things. And they can have them.
Yeah, well said. Honestly, I forgot to include all of this. Honestly, yeah, like these are.
David, the volume is low from your end.
I mean, just recently, right? A woman was forced, I think in Texas, to give birth to a child already died inside her body. They said they refused to take the child out, right, because it's abortion or whatever.
What about
Texas? Their head is not correct.
So she gave birth to a baby.
There's even another case from Ohio, like this girl had to. It's not just Texas. I think there's another case in Ohio where this girl who was 10, she was raped and she was 10. She got pregnant.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that today. Yeah.
She had to cross state lines because she needed to get an abortion, and Ohio still has a ban on abortions because of right after Roe v. Wade was overturned, that law came into effect. So I think these are also parts of the issues. And if it comes to how it's done, notice how I said professional. That's why I think it should remain legal. And that's why I keep emphasizing that if you don't want it, don't get it. Don't use it as an excuse to deny those who will really need it in the future, because it's really important.
I just wish that people who were pro-life and whatnot, right, had enough passion to be pro-life after the baby is born. Yeah, like
what I say.
Actually care about children, because these people don't care about children.
I mean, liberals adopt more children than conservatives. It's hilarious.
Yeah, but please.
Yeah, but the liberals are gay, right? So what do you expect, like, from people?
Most liberals are straight, actually.
No, I'm trying to make a joke here. Like, the conservative people are the ones that have to be adopting more children, and they don't do it. And when they do, like, we've seen a couple of cases in the US.
But they give more money than liberals, so.
No, not exactly true, but don't.
It's true. It's true actually, but
it's not. But let's not go there.
let's leave that one. Let's leave it.
Oh
Yes,
someone said, they should have enough passion to ban guns in the country. There are 2 cases now of like not even 2 cases. I think
it's like 3 or 4
cases.
now, sir.
Yes,
it is 4. Listen, it is 4.
4
I can bet by next week some more will happen again.
I think the 4th one was actually one. Right? That's the mother and daughter that got killed. The black woman and her child that got killed, right, by one neighbor dispute. Next one was some white girl that got killed by neighbor. Next one was the black boy that is making headlines. Shots. The driveway. See, I'm just so tired. Yeah, the last school shooting that happened in Texas was so near my brother's school. And it's like, at this point here, if some crackhead goes into a school and wants to the place up, when you go die, because what can you really do? You have like these politicians like, yeah, we can't ban guns, and I get it because the NRA has donated so much money. Like,
yes, exactly.
You can't top that.
And it's in their constitution, actually.
Yes.
So
And even if it's in the hold on, even if it's in the constitution, it can be banned if Congress does it. But then Congress would not want to, because many of the senators and the House members have been donated to heavily by gun manufacturers and the NRA. So
the
they
gun
can't
law
even
thing
think of it.
is by design for American defense. Actually, it's not just
but. Yeah, we'll get to that conversation later. Let's not derail too much. And Fruity, I hope
Fruity ask his questions.
Yes, and Fruity, I hope this answers your first question too about how how based on what Toden was saying before that you will not see these things coming. Yeah. Like you see, I don't like you don't see it coming. Next thing, I mean, those were kids in the school, right? But their lives were cut short. Did they see that coming? Sense of security in the mother. Anyway, next question.
Thank you for listening to this episode. Please subscribe on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and other places podcasts are available. Then check out the show notes for links you may find useful, especially our Discord server. We'd love to have you there. Have a great week, and I will catch you on the next one.